Hey guys, it's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist, and it's a late night. All right, it's a late night for me. Mia Redrick, I'm the mom strategist. I support moms with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. I support people with taking the brand of themselves, packaging their gifts, their expertise, and their education into product that they can sell passively, one-to-many models. If that's what you're into, you're going to love what I scope about, all right? Tonight I'm going to be teaching on, hey, Fred, you're going to love this scope. Sometimes you got to do what you've got to do. You got to do first things first. I'm going to be teaching on that tonight. It's going to be a quick scope, but I know that you guys are going to love it because I'm going to break that down for you guys, because sometimes, hey there, good to see you. You got to do what you've got to do. You got to do first things first. That's the kind of day that I've had today, and I thought that this would be a perfect time to kind of break that down for those of you guys who can relate, which is most of us, all right? Thank you so much for sharing, all right? I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and you know what? I love what I get to do. Hey, Paul, welcome to the broadcast, and let me tell you guys my story. I'm going to keep this quick. I got started in my business 13 years ago. I decided that I wanted to go to work as myself. That meant that I wanted to combine my background as a corporate trainer and my love of motherhood into a business. And I had no idea how in the world I could do that. Went to a small business resource center to figure out how to combine those two things, and was told that what I've been doing for the last 13 years, that nobody would ever pay me. Yeah, really. Okay, to do what I've been doing and that I absolutely love. I ended up working with a coach, hiring a coach, a business coach. She was the second highest paid business coach in the country. And what I loved about working with her was that she was free. She was the first entrepreneur I ever met that was truly free. She would pick her business up, go to Mexico to work during November, December, and January because she didn't like winter. And I was like, I did not know any entrepreneurs that could leave their business and still generate income. And I was intrigued by that. And I didn't necessarily want to build my business to go to Mexico, but I certainly wanted to have the freedom to own my time. Fast forward, I've been a full-time entrepreneur actually for over 2 decades, but and that my husband and I both. And that's exciting, and one of the things that I love, I have an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, and an 11-year-old, is the fact that our children have never seen us work jobs, and there's something really amazing about being able to give your kids that lens, that's one of the reasons that I love being an entrepreneur. I love being an entrepreneur equally because my husband developed kidney disease over 7 years ago. And that's when your freedom is tested, right? When life throws you a curveball, and you know what I mean? And you realize that, did you put your nest egg in place or not? All right. And what we realized was that, number one, I never had to blink or think about being anywhere else other than being with my husband, right? And being there for my kids when he needed me most. Secondly, what I loved so much was the fact that we hired a private physician for my husband so that he could do well on dialysis. And when he got his kidney transplant, I believe that's why he did amazingly well over 2.5 years ago when he got his kidney transplant, because you don't have to have a doctor that has 100 patients. You can have a doctor that just has 20 patients, just got to pay for that, all right? And, that was just a great gift for us and a benefit of being an entrepreneur. And another reason that I love being an entrepreneur, because I'm a mom of 3 kids, and Pat and I always dreamed of educating our kids the way that we wanted to, and we have done that. We've invested over $715,000 in our kids' private school tuition. And I know a lot of women out there, a lot of dads out there, that's one of the things that you want. You want to be able to educate your kids the way you choose to. Being an entrepreneur is a great way to be able to invest in your family in that way. Make no doubt about that, all right? And, certainly traveling the world takes time and money to do that. But there's nothing like, to me, being an entrepreneur other than, really being able to date my husband in the middle of the week, and multiple times a week, whatever I want to do, because I can do what I want to do. And I love that. And I know that some of you guys want to be entrepreneurs, or you are an entrepreneur and you want to get freer, because you just want to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And to me, being an entrepreneur, that's one of the greatest benefits and blessings of being an entrepreneur to me. All right, so I'm going to get started. And tonight's scope is that sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? You got to do first things first. And that was just really on my heart today because all day, when I tell you guys all day, I was thinking about you guys. And I was thinking, you know what? I want to do a scope. I have got things that I want to share, things that I want to teach to be able to reach you all, right? And every minute that I thought that I had a window where I could, just walk over here and press go live, something would come up and I couldn't do it today because I've hired a new team member and, we were just dealing with craziness. But in short, we tried to do a password change and realized that I forgot the password that I changed everything to. So then I had to go and reset everything. And the window didn't open up. And sometimes, guys, in your life and in your business, what makes all the difference in terms of whether you get the result that you want or that you don't get the result you want is whether you know how to prioritize what is most important. And one of the things that I have learned, and this is how I feel very strongly about this. I feel like when I am in flow, that's my responsibility, is each and every day to find the flow, all right? Life naturally has a flow, a direction that we're supposed to go. So there is a reason why any other day I can remember passwords and I don't have any challenge with any of those things. But today, as I began to go through passwords and to use this one system that we use to change all the passwords, I messed it up. And as a result of it, I had to get that to my admin person so that she could fully support me. But because I was the person that had all the masters, she couldn't get started until I did that. And I had a choice. I could do what I wanted to do, which was talk to you guys here on Periscope, or I could do what I needed to do, which was, work inside my business so that we could create the results and I could get the support that I need. And, sometimes as entrepreneurs, it's easy to pick and do the stuff that you want to do. You know what I'm talking about? Because doing the stuff that you want to do is fun. It's easy, right? It's not complicated. For me to sit there and go through reset all of these passwords and all these different sites, it's not fun. It's easy for me to just say, I don't want to do this. Let me go do something that I want to do. But I will tell you that there's a differential in life, and life pays you based on how disciplined you are, right? And so if you ever want to get paid at a high level, or you ever want to reach your goals at a high level, you have to implement at a different level. And you have to be disciplined at a higher level. And you have to have a different kind of accountability for yourself around that. And so one of the things that I've learned over the years is that first things are first, which we've heard, right? First things are first. And I don't allow myself to do the things that I want to do because they don't supersede the things that I need to do. And I'm real clear about it. I'm very, very disciplined about it. And, I was teaching you guys the other day about the important practice of being ritualistic, right? And ritualistic, in my opinion, is successful patterns. Thank you, Fred. Successful patterns, to me, are ritualistic. And I'll tell you how they translate to me, right? What I like to do is, for example, when I work out, okay? So tomorrow I have to go to the gym. I have a training class tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. But whenever I go and work out, all right, I also belong to a spa membership. But I don't allow myself to be rewarded with a massage unless I work out at least 3 days in a week, okay? So my goal is always at least 4 days a week. So if I work out 3 days in a week, then I will allow myself the reward to get a massage, even though it's paid for, even though, that's something that I bank for me. But one of the things that I have learned is that I do first things first, okay? And when I do first things first, that, there are rewards that come along with doing things in the right order. Hey, Tommy, good to see you. Doing things in the right order, doing things with the right priority, and not rewarding yourself for not showing up for yourself. Does that make sense? So why would I reward myself for not showing up for myself, right? Because I'm completely better when I work out, when I exercise, right? When I do that, I'm better in my business. I'm sharper, right? In many different areas. As a result of that, my health is my wealth. I totally know that. So one of the things that I like to do is focus on doing the first things first and only the first things first. And when I do those things, I reward myself. My reward is tied to completion. And so I thought that that would be something important to share, because a lot of us are rewarding ourselves and we don't tie our rewards to completion. We tie our rewards are tied to just starting, just mentioning, but not to completion. And when I tell you, when you operate like that ritualistically, meaning you say, listen, if I don't work out 3 times this week, Mia Redrick will not be getting a massage this week because she did not earn it. All right. When you operate like that ritualistically, you'll notice that you will become more accountable to yourself. Right. And a lot of us are not accountable to ourselves because we reward ourselves too early. In the process, we haven't done anything. We didn't do anything to deserve the reward, or better yet, we don't even know what the priorities are, because whenever there is something that's important, if we don't want to do it, if it creates inconvenience for us, we just look the other way and go and do this other thing. Like I was telling you earlier about me with the email passwords, right? Like I just totally wanted to just leave that thing. It was just totally not working. But the fact of the matter is, unless you learn those small disciplines, right? Unless you practice those small disciplines, those are the differentials that determine whether or not you get what you want and you have what you need down the line. All right. And it really is nothing other than that success really is an incredible discipline that we all have to practice. Nobody starts off, wanting to do the grunt stuff, wanting to do things that they don't want to do. None of us start off like nobody. But I will tell you that if you discipline yourself in the small things, then when the big things come forward, you already have the muscle and the tenacity and the vision, right? Because you understand why you're disciplining yourself, to be able to face those stronger temptations to be distracted or to do something else that's less important. Knowing what's important is one thing. Doing what's important is another thing. And people who really get great results do what is important. They do what is important, and they know what they are, and they take actions on those things. And, that I do know is true. It's really important. Sometimes I say to my children, just in a really simple way, just trying to get them to think about it. If they tell me all these things they have to do, and I say, well, what do you need to do first? And why do you need to do that first over this first? Because if you don't understand what priority looks like in your life, things get scrambled fairly easily. I see it a lot in the lives of so many entrepreneurs, for example. They might be doing a lot of things in their business, working on their website at night. You know what I'm saying? Working on their squeeze pages during the day. Thank you so much, right? They might be doing a whole lot, but they don't know the priority. They don't know what to work on first, okay? Or maybe it might relate to something in their marriage, right? It could relate to your relationship that, maybe you're focusing on, like maybe you've got dinner going on for the family. Everybody's eating healthy, you know what I'm saying? And maybe, the house is clean, or, you know what I'm saying? But when you think about priority, maybe you're not prioritizing what matters most, having deep and meaningful conversations, going out on a date with your spouse, like the stuff that's like higher order. So when you look at your life, you look at it and it's clean, and then people are eating healthy. But when you listen to what's happening at the table, you didn't think about what was most important. You have to prioritize, really, guys, and know how to prioritize and practice prioritizing. And it is a practice ritualistically for you to know what's most important so you can show up in that way. And I find that the better we get at it, I don't think we ever completely arrive, because there are always new things to challenge us. But, knowing what's most important is a gift and a blessing. And it's a question that you have to ask yourself constantly, because there are so many things to pull you away or to make you think that what you're doing is a good thing when in reality it's a lower priority thing. I always think about it as it relates to my relationships, is what's the priority here? What do I want? If I want to have a loving, intimate and a relationship that is high, we have great communication, and then I need to prioritize talking. Like, I need to prioritize listening. Like, I need to see that showing up. You know what I'm saying? And let's be clear that I can make all the great meals in the world, but if those things are the priority, in order for us to have a great sizzling relationship, then I need to make sure that those things happen in the order, the top priority. All right. And you do too. All right. And if you're not thinking that way, you need to be thinking that way. And I like to talk about, to me, the stuff that really makes life go, because I meet so many people who we don't talk about it. Like, we don't talk about this kind of stuff at all. I will tell you, it's interesting to me because Pat and I are going into almost 21 years of being married. Okay. This December 29th is like 21 years. All right. And we dated 6 months. And actually, Pat proposed in November. We got married in December. We got married within 6 weeks of him proposing. And so it was fast. So it's just so interesting to me that, like, 21 years later. And then one of the things that people ask us all the time is like, what's the secret? And I think the secret, there are a couple secrets over the years, but I think one of the secrets that we definitely recognized once we made that commitment, like, we're going to be together, and that was a priority. Like, I'm not leaving you and you're not leaving me. Okay. And we decided what we want this thing to look like. We started to prioritize what it looked like, fun, or, being loving and being playful, and, having joy and having trust and showing what that would look like for us. And we prioritize those things. So now, I look at it and, 21 years later, I understand that Sundays, I'm married to Pat Monday through Saturday. But on Sunday, during football season, we're not married. He's married to football. And then on Monday, we're married again. He watches football on Mondays, but not the same on Sundays. So Sundays, he doesn't really know that I'm really in the house. I don't really exist, really. And in fact, it's so funny because I was like, I know. He gets up early morning on Sunday morning, usually by, 10 o'clock. He's like, do you need anything? So that really means, like, don't ask me for anything after 11:30, okay, when all the pregame things start coming on, because I don't want to talk about anything until, until Monday. All right. And I understand that. And I prioritize that. And I prioritize that because that makes him happy. So it's just sometimes even the little things that, we don't think about are priorities, but they are. And it's important to know what priority looks like in your life and to do those things first, to honor those things first. Hey, darling, you never see me on here this late. I'm never on Periscope late. And the reason I'm on here late, but I stay up late anyway. But the reason I'm on here late tonight is because I was trying to get on here earlier today to talk to you guys, right? I know. I was trying to get on here earlier and I hired a new support person. And man, I was using this password system for all of my passwords. And what do? I forget the password. Okay, so I just totally, I missed your scope. I'm going to have to check it out, Tommy. And I lose the password. So then I have to go, oh my gosh, I had to go and find these passwords and all of this craziness. And it took forever and I just couldn't get on here. And I was just saying in my scope today that literally sometimes what's very important is understanding doing first things first, because when I had to find all those passwords, I honestly did not want to do that because it was not fun. It was a lot of passwords and it is really not something I enjoy doing. Okay. So it's very easy for me to come over here and talk to you guys because it's something that I enjoy doing. But I have to do first things first in order to advance my life. And that's true for all of us. And if you don't prioritize the things you've got to do first, then you end up, you end up putting your life moving in slow motion, because you're not advancing your life, because you're not doing things that can allow you to go to your next level. So now I'm free of that, right? That thing that was a challenge for me. And now I could then prioritize talking to you guys. And while this was a priority for me, the most important thing for me to do was what I needed to do. And that is always an important question for us all to ask ourselves each and every day. What do I need to do most? What do I need to do first? Why do I need to do this first? Why is this important? And if you don't know what those things are and you think every single thing is important, it's sometimes the reason why the success that you want to create, you can't create it, because you think everything is the same, and everything isn't the same. Not everything has the same priority. Not everything has the same urgency and importance. And it's essential to know what that looks like. And I think for this upcoming year, if you haven't ever just sat down and had one of those conversations with yourself, or I like to use I like to journal and write out, what the priorities are for me. I literally write them out in many different areas. And I try to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable for that. And I was mentioning earlier, like, I go to the gym and I belong to a spa membership, but I don't allow myself to get a massage unless I go to the gym at least 3 days a week. It is really because I'm holding myself accountable, right, ritualistically, for the priorities that are important to me. Being healthy, being fit, being conditioned, having stamina to do the work that I love to do, being able to really be strong for my family. My health is my wealth, right? I know that. So when I do that and I make that a priority, then I also honor that with a reward. But some people out here are rewarding themselves for things they haven't done. And that's where your system gets all messed up, because, you're like giving yourself a treat and you didn't do anything to earn a treat, in your life or in your business. And as a result of it, you know what I'm saying? You're looking back and you're rewarding yourself, and you didn't go all the way. You didn't do what you need to do. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? You didn't honor your promise to yourself. That's all I'm saying. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. It's kind of a sober scope, but I know that this has supported someone. And that's my goal, right? My goal is just simply, if there's one thing that I said, no, I can't. If there's one thing that I've said that can really support you guys, then, that's why I'm here today. All right. So this is going to be a part of Scope School, as you guys know. And so I'll delete the scope in the morning. So it'll stay up for maybe, it's 12 now. It'll stay up until about 10 o'clock tomorrow. Maybe when I come back from the gym, 11 o'clock, and then I'll delete the scope. All right. If you're interested, thank you so much. If you're interested in Scope School, check my bio out. And over 250 scopes there. They're mindset, business, and life scopes. And then also one new scope is added every single week. 250 scopes, guys. Like, you can pick and choose your own journey of education. That's what a lot of people like. All right. So I just want to thank you so much for your time. Derek, you're going to have to catch the replay. And I'll see you guys soon, all right? I love you. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com and sign up for my newsletter list. Blessings for you guys. You guys are wonderful. You know what? Thank you so much. I love you. I really do. And we're going to knock it out of the park, right, for 2017. And it's all about talking about the things that are most important, all right? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.